I'm Jonathan Aberman. I'm currently the Dean of the College of Business Ideation, Leadership, and Technology here at Marymount University. I think I'm more widely known for being the founder of Amplifier Ventures and also my consulting business, Amplifier Advisors. Over the years, I've educated more than 2,000 students in various universities around entrepreneurship. I've helped start 20 technology companies. I've advised every governor since Governor Warner on innovation policy. I've served on the board of the Center for Innovative Technology and various other organizations around the state. I care about entrepreneurship deeply. I care about technology deeply. I think our future as a region depends upon our successful entrepreneurship. So I'm really glad that you're going to take the opportunity to learn from me and the other experts as part of this video series. One of the great things about being a resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia is that the state has spent a lot of money developing an ecosystem to support entrepreneurship. You've got, in particular, the Center for Innovative Technology that's provided seed and startup capital and grants to start many of the businesses that are currently growing in the state. The CIT is, by many accounts, the most active investor in the country. You also have the Department of Small Business and various parts of the Department of Commerce down in Richmond that are devoted to developing opportunities to grow businesses. On top of that, you have small business development centers that are funded by the state and the federal government that exist all around the state. Mason runs those on behalf of the SBA and the state. And then you have various programs that are designed to encourage entrepreneurial behavior that are funded by the state, different ecosystems that are funded through the Go Virginia grants. For example, here in Northern Virginia, you have the Tandem Product Academy, a project that I've been working on to help people grow tech companies. The point is that if you don't know where to go, a great place to begin is always to reach out to the Center for Innovative Technology or the Department of Commerce to see what they have to support your journey.
Hi, I'm Esther Lee. I'm the president and CEO of Refraction, which is a nonprofit innovation hub that provides mentoring and programming and workspace for startups and entrepreneurs. I was privileged to serve in the Obama administration as the director of the Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship, where we launched Startup America, focused on what the government can do to better assist entrepreneurs all throughout the US. And then after that, I served as Virginia Secretary of Commerce. Helping entrepreneurs create jobs has been my passion for a number of years. And as we all know, in the last 20 to 30 years, all net new jobs in this country were created by startups. So happy to be doing this work. So the small business development centers are partially funded by federal government as well as state government, and they are all throughout the Commonwealth. And as I mentioned before, they provide training, they provide counseling, they help you with very specific things like accounting help and things like that. And so those are good state resources. I believe there's also ICAP programs, which is kind of an intensive 3-week program, training program for very early stage entrepreneurs, which are also often run out of the SBDCs.
My name is Tian Wong. I'm chairman and CEO of Opus 8. Opus 8 is a company which invests directly in early stage companies, and we also help alternative investment managers and early stage companies raise capital through our network of investors. I'm also the founder of Connectpreneur Community, which is a global community of over 20,000 investors, VCs, entrepreneurs, founders, and other business leaders. Mostly on the East Coast, but around the world. As far as state resources, you have the Center for Innovative Technology, which is part of the Commonwealth of Virginia out here in Northern Virginia. And we run programs and also have capital to invest in early stage companies, both in the biohealth sector as well as in the technology and cyber sector. And we also have Mach 37, which spun off of the CIT, which is an incubator and accelerator for companies that are focused in the cybersecurity space. Yeah, CIT has a variety of different funding mechanisms. One is a smaller $50,000 investment range for super early stage companies. They also have what they call the GAP fund, the GAP fund, which actually I've been on the investment advisory board for 12 years there. We actually make investments between 100 and 200,000 for companies who are in Virginia. They have to be Virginia based, and largely employing people in Virginia and obviously stimulating growth and employment here in the state.
Sure. My name is April Young. I'm a managing partner at, managing director at Hercules Capital, which is a publicly traded BDC traded on the New York Stock Exchange. We specialize in lending money to growth companies with venture backing to help them grow. My background, I spent the first 30 years of my career doing economic development. I was recruited here in the early 80s to run the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. After that, I did some stints in the construction industry with NVR, ultimately ran the state's program for Doug Wilder, and then went to George Mason University as a fellow to work on regional economic growth. In the late 1990s, I became a banker and have been a banker to venture-backed companies ever since. I made a list earlier. DataTribe is one that's the best well-known. It specializes in technology and specifically information technology. Squadra is the same. They specialize in software. They're just a bunch, and there are lots of good data sources to find. But the key is always to be able to express what the value proposition clearly so that someone can decide fairly quickly if they want to hear more. In my case, because we're a debt fund, we're very clear that we have numeric metrics. Among the angels, I think the key is to understand what the angel, him or herself, wants to invest in. There's a new fund started by a marvelous woman called Construct Capital. Dana Grayson is the founder. She's a former NEA partner and is very interested in how things get built in machinery and products. There are others. Squadra, as I mentioned, is very interested in cyber, as is DataTribe. TEDCO, you don't have to just be in Virginia. Maryland has a good fund called TEDCO. There are others. There's a brand new fund that's focused on technologies in the construction industry, in building and sustainable construction. So the most important thing is do your homework. Figure out whether the investor that you're talking to is going to be interested in the space that you're in.
I'm Bob Stolle. I'm the president and CEO for the Center for Innovative Technology. We are a nonprofit organization focused on the growth of innovation and entrepreneurship in Virginia. We are an economic development organization, much the same way that the Virginia Economic Development Partnership works to attract new businesses into the Commonwealth and to grow the existing industry. Our focus is to work on behalf of Virginia to grow the innovation and entrepreneurial sector, which, according to the Kauffman Foundation, represents about a third of the overall number of jobs. We're a nonprofit. However, we were created by the Commonwealth for the Commonwealth, and most of our funding comes from the Commonwealth. And our major mission is growing entrepreneurship and innovation. Our programs are focused on those that have been identified as the highest priorities by the Commonwealth, and those are the high tech, high growth. So we've got a list of high tech industries that the Commonwealth is specifically interested in growing and developing new jobs and investment. One of the key programs that people are interested in is our direct investment, which includes the GAP Fund. The GAP Fund is a direct investment program that is seed stage. The intention for the GAP program is to make very early investments in startup companies that will leverage additional private sector venture capital follow-on funding. Typically, we'll put $100,000, $200,000 into an early stage company with the intention of reducing risk and attracting further investment. We see probably 300 to 400 companies a year and make about 30 to 35 investments in those companies. So the companies that we do invest in have been well vetted and become very attractive to later stage investors that can become part of that funding round. In Region 1, we work very closely with Shannon Blevins, who's with UVA-Wise, and a program that is associated with UVA-Wise called Opportunity Southwest Virginia. In Region 2, we work primarily with the Valley's Innovation Council and with the RAMP Technology Accelerator. They're very closely aligned also with Virginia Tech. Region 3, which is mostly Southside Virginia, but we work closely with the Launch Place, which is a tremendously innovative program that is being funded out of the Danville Regional Foundation and makes direct investments, much as our GAP fund does, makes direct investments in entrepreneurs and startups that will remain and grow in the Danville area. In Region 4, which is primarily Central Virginia and Richmond, we work, there are a number of great organizations. The entrepreneurial coordinator among them is Activation Capital at the biotech park, but there are also programs like Lighthouse Labs, the accelerator in Startup Virginia, and 1717, and a variety of other programs as well. Region 5 is the Hampton Roads area. Primarily, that is an organization with multiple levels called 757. They've got the 757 Seed Fund, 757 Accelerate, and they are adding to that with the 757 Studios also, all of them focused on the growth of early stage entrepreneurs. They also work closely with the Reinvent Hampton Roads and with the Innovation Department at ODU. Region 6 is primarily focused, they've got a really diverse region, and they've got everything from Charlottesville and up and down 95 into Northern Virginia, but also into Williamsburg and into the Northern Neck. So, you know, they've got portions of the state that are working on the highest tech you can imagine, and portions that are still working to get internet connection. So we work very closely with University of Mary Washington there. We work with a variety of organizations that represent the various differences and within that region as well. But Curry Roberts, who is with the Fredericksburg Alliance, is a primary point of contact for us. Region 7 is Northern Virginia, and we work very closely with the Northern Virginia Technology Council. They are really the center of all things when it comes to technology, but we also work with the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce as well. Region 8 is the Shenandoah Valley, and they have a new initiative there called Startup Shenandoah Valley. And they are in the process of developing an accelerator that will focus on more rural entrepreneurship, including ag tech. So they've got some, they just recently were awarded a Go Virginia grant to help them create the ecosystem there. And we are working very closely to help make that happen. And then Region 9 is the Charlottesville area. We work with the Charlottesville Business Innovation Council and Tracy Green, and of course they're very closely aligned with University of Virginia and some of the innovation programs in that area as well. This website is just a great tool for entrepreneurs that want to find out more about what CIT does. From our homepage that discusses specific programs, it talks about the initiatives that we had discussed earlier about who we are and what we do and what's our role in the Commonwealth. And on the homepage is a discussion of exactly what those programs are and how we do that, and addresses the industry sectors that we're in the process of exploring. And if you go to the initiative section, again, it lays out each one of the programs, the GAP funds, direct investments in early stage companies, the Commonwealth Commercialization Fund, the CCF, where we make grants into universities, university research programs, and private sector companies to commercialize products that may otherwise sit on the shelves. The unmanned systems, smart community, cybersecurity programs, and one of the really neat things that we do that does go somewhat unnoticed, I think sometimes, we have a SBIR, STTR education process where Rob Brook, just this really stellar CIT employee who knows everything there is to know about SBIRs, STTRs, and how to apply for them and how to be successful in getting them. Rob does a variety of seminars. Due to COVID right now, most of those seminars are available online. If we go into the SBIR, STTR, not only is the information in there to help you determine whether you are eligible for these grants that typically come out of federal agencies such as NIH and others, but helps you to identify what the opportunities are, and then also provides a variety of information associated with past awards and links to seminars. So SBIRs are a tremendous opportunity for early stage companies, typically in technology fields, and we've got the right folks to be able to help you navigate that process and be successful. And also, Rob has some funding that he can actually assist you in developing your proposal. In getting an expert to help you develop your proposal. With all of those, I'm going to go into resources, because with all of those different organizations that I just mentioned in the 9 different regions, all of them are available via link through our resources page. You'll see each one of the regions also has a technology council that we work to support and to we serve on their boards. They are membership organizations that are promoting and advocating for technology issues and technology companies in each one of the regions. And under the innovation ecosystems, these are the 9 ecosystems that we just talked about. Each one of the ones that I mentioned, and some of the other organizations are available. If you want to find out more about Activation Capital in the Richmond area, then we take you directly to their page, and there'll be information about Lighthouse Labs and Startup Virginia and a variety of other programs that are available as well. And if you have questions, then there's information about all of our staff, information about how to contact us, and so that we can provide additional information. We want to meet with entrepreneurs. We want them to be successful. We want them to be, wonderful stories of innovation and entrepreneurship from the Commonwealth of Virginia. We've got lots of success stories. We look forward to adding to them.